Having had no siblings, I can't gauge this with any accuracy, but I do feel that I was an incredibly accident-prone child. Um, Suffice to say that my mother saw more of my blood on the outside of my body than one should have seen. I survived. But when this poem came my way via Craig Chury, it kind of embraced me like a warm, sticky blanket. So, I believe I remember love by Mark Gibbons. My mother was transforming another tough pot roast into meatloaf, grinding up chunks of gristly beef, bovine scraps she'd boned off a shoulder blade. As she bore down on the stiff crank handle and fed the iron gullet of the meat grinder, the auger hole, I stood beside her, a shadow, not yet two. Held onto the counter and cutting board, listened to the squish and roar of meat pushing through spaghetti-sized holes. I was mesmerized by those oozing red hamburger strings. In a flash, I reached up and plugged a hole with my finger to stop the flow. Didn't know about the slashing, windmilling knives, turning industriously, cleaving all meat. My mother and I screamed, cried hysterically, held hands and a dish towel full of blood, while my dad drove the 30 miles of curvy road, a 2-lane along the river, cussing, full throttle. They hustled me through the lobby of the clinic, brick and glass. I saw wheelchairs, white gowns running about, watched an overhead light fade. Finally, at home, I remember sitting on the floor in overalls, a lemon sucker in one hand and plaster cast on the other, people laughing, smiling at me, the fabled little Dutch boy who survived the flood. I was the talk of the neighborhood, the focus of the family, my first memory. That trauma was perfect drama. An audience brings us joy. Our greatest happiness is the belief we are loved. It's what we live for, what we desire most. We learn to tolerate any pain, risk blood or breath, anything, if we believe we are loved. Right now. Forever. I believe I remember love by Mark Gibbons. My first spout of blood was me putting my arm through a plate glass window because I was playing tag in the house. And now I have you can't see it. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.